Hello and welcome to Buildings of Tomorrow. My name is John Lester, and today we're talking about the power of combining static and dynamic data in the digital twin. I'm joined today by Markus Winterholler, the product owner of the digital lifecycle at Siemens Smart Infrastructure. Markus, thank you for joining us.
John, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. What is the power of joining static and dynamic data together? What can we achieve with this?
Right, John, most of our applications, they need both. They need plans to find a location. They need a location of what's going on where. But it's only valuable if you also have live data, performance data, time series data of the sensor or events that show you what's going on in a building. So by bringing together static data, which is a location model, and dynamic data, which is time series data, we can create great applications. Unbelievable. And we do it so easy that somebody who's building this application on top of our digital lifecycle doesn't need deep knowledge on building technology. So he can really focus on the application to bring value to his customers and leave all the technical details to us.
Okay, so the difficult part of collecting this location data and then overlaying the real life live data on the top is taken care of. And all you have to do is find different ways to manipulate that data to find value.
Exactly, like running data analytics on top of that. Right? You have all the data, you know where it's happening, you know which rooms are located next to each other, you know which rooms are in the south or in the north. So we can interpret this data very easily. And this data is all sorted, all mapped to the location. So the analytics part can be really focused on training neural network, creating new algorithms, doing the fancy stuff, right? While we are doing all the technical basics.
So you're doing the hard work and someone else gets to do the fun stuff.
Yeah, they all the fun goes away and we are sweating out there.
Do you have some examples for us of what you've been able to achieve?
Sure. For Siemens Real Estate, we did a collaboration and we collected the dynamic data from the building for them. And we also created the BIM model and the nice 2D plans so they could focus on occupancy. So they used our occupancy sensor data that is built in for controlling HVAC. And they now know which rooms are more or less occupied and which tables are occupied. So if we hire new people, right, we know, do we have to rent more space or do they still fit in there? Or are rooms in a smaller size used more, or they need bigger rooms and all this kind of stuff. They are now able to see and they are able to focus on this without having this in-depth knowledge of the building.
And you mentioned that you used sensors that were already existing, so they didn't have to invest in hardware. They could leverage what they already had.
Yeah, of course, we provide all the data that's already there. If they need additional sensors, we are, of course, the digital lifecycle platform is easy enough to include all these new sensors. They don't have to be from Siemens. We're also able to include third-party sensors and add value there. But exactly, you start with what you have, right? You see, do I have the 2D plans or a 3D model? And you start from there. And then if you need additional sensors or additional information on the building, somebody has to build this up. And then you feed this back into the digital lifecycle, and the digital twin of the building is growing and growing and growing.
And this is the benefit we spoke earlier about, how you don't focus on one discipline, but everything. You can collect information from anywhere within the building.
Exactly. And from everybody who's visiting the building, right? There are 2 changes per building per week. And
what do you mean by this? 2 changes per building per week?
Like somebody is putting a wall in here. Somebody just put his table in here. This beautiful table, right? Yeah. Hopefully, this is already in the BIM model,
in the BIM model, yeah, of
course. Because this was built by somebody, and he has a CAD model of this to have the right sizes that it fits in nicely. Yeah. So this one is able to get the room here, so he can place this virtually already in the digital twin.
Yeah.
Then he places it physically, and it's already enriched in the digital twin of this building.
So the operator knows how it will look and how it will fit, but also understands will this change the number of people we can have in the room? Will it change the way we get out of this room if we have a fire alarm and all these kinds of things?
Exactly. So if this is in the way, I can't escape. So he would have to change it. And what's the way to find out that something is blocking our escape route? It's by looking at a digital twin. So we can run simulations, evacuation simulations there.
Okay.
So this is just another use case here.
So it sounds like the use cases are really limited just by our imagination once we have the data built.
Exactly. And there's so many different disciplines visiting every data building. They see what is changed, what is built in or removed, or a room that was designed as an office space is now should be used as a lab. So we need to think of what else do we have to change in there, right? Do we have to change the HVAC? Do we have to change the fire system? So all this information is coming to us because people who are doing their disciplinary stuff, they are enriching the digital twin. And so the other disciplines can make use of that information.
So every change is reflected instantly within the digital twin. So everyone who's involved knows what's going on.
Right.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, John.
And thank you all for joining us on Buildings of Tomorrow. Please like, comment, or share on this episode, and also subscribe to us here at this channel. We'll see you again soon.